If there has been one game I've been looking forward to over the past 2 years, it has been the conclusion to one of the greatest sci-fi stories ever told, and that is Mass Effect 3. I have been playing this game for about a week now, and I think it's time for me to do a honest, serious review. I haven't really done one like this before, and I think it's about time I did. There's going to be no jokes, no spoilers, it's just going to be my honest opinion. And, well, it's because it's the first time I've ever done one, I'm going to break this up into sections. It's going to be presentation, then it's going to be gameplay, then multiplayer, and finally what I find most important in a game, the story. So let's get started with my review of Mass Effect 3.
But no matter what scars you bear, whatever uniform you wear, you can fight like a Krogan, run like a leopard, but you'll never be better than Commander Shepard.
Oh, before I start this review, my capture card isn't working at the moment. It works for my DVDs, but not for video game recording, so if I am using your footage, please, I'm sorry about using that, and please don't sue me. Although the graphics haven't changed much, the overall look is more fleshed out and gritty, while at the same time having a lush variety of colours. And it works nicely with the fact that the look and feel of the game is that of desperation and loss, giving more of a feel of war. The characters' looks and actions have been well polished and has a great amount of attention to detail. However, saying that, there are times where the lip syncing is a bit faulty and the characters' facial expressions look, well, a bit plasticky and the eyes just look creepy. And at times the texture loading can be as bad as it was in Mass Effect 1. But I'm sure all of these can be fixed in patches. The guns have had a complete audio workover and succeeding in making the guns feel and sound more strong and have a real kick to them. But whatever happened to the heavy weapons that were in Mass Effect 2? I mean, sure, they're there in the game, but you can't take them with you. It's as soon as they run out of ammo, you've got to leave them. Why? As for soundtrack, well, BioWare pulled out one of the big guns, bringing in Clint Marshall to do most of the new soundtrack. And even that a lot of the old Mass Effect music is reused in this game, Clint has done a fantastic job in nailing the emotion in this game. And his work is one of the strongest parts of the game, in the fact that the music, by itself, can tell a story. Now, gameplay has never really been Mass Effect's greatest attribute. In Mass Effect 1, the combat was so clunky and at times the missions got so boring that it was kind of hard to continue with the fantastic story. In Mass Effect 2, there was so much focus on the combat, it hurt the RPG element, and I think Mass Effect 2 had a weaker story to Mass Effect 1. Well, Mass Effect 3 has found the perfect middle. There are very little changes to the combat, but getting into cover is easier, you move more fluid, and you have new combat roles, and there's more focus on a melee. Although it's still glitchy. At times you'll try to activate a console only to dive into cover, and this happens a lot. Another glitch which I have found is that you become magnetized to cover. At times you try to move away from it, but you just keep on being pulled back, even sometimes going through the solid objects. But I should stop getting focused on every little glitch that happens in this game, because really it doesn't happen enough times to become annoying. I will give credit also to the melee combat. It has really changed, being more fluid and responsive, and also the Omni Blade is badass. End of. When it comes to the RPG, I have mixed feelings. For one, I like there's more Paragon and Renegade interrupts. I like that the crew members don't spend the whole game in one place. They move around to Normandy, talk to each other. And the squad banter really fills each mission with entertainment, making it not just feel like you're moving into one room, killing a select amount of enemies, and then moving into the next. What I don't like is the limitations on the dialogue wheel. You rarely have three options. You either have a good option or a bad option. You can't ask any more questions. There's no investigations like there were in the last two games. So at times you can't really ask what the hell's going on. This is where I think EA has been putting its foot down, trying to focus BioWare into making a more wider selling game so they can make more money. But really, I think BioWare have sneaked in a few more bits of dialogue under the radar, basically to keep the RPG from stop being ignored. And really, the gameplay is the strongest it's been in the franchise so far. Even though BioWare insist they wanted multiplayer ever since Mass Effect 1, multiplayer is EA all over. And when I first heard about multiplayer, I thought, oh god, this is why the game was delayed by 3 months so EA can rush out some crappy little horde shooter. And for the most part, I was wrong. Mass Effect 3 has a strong, addictive multiplayer. You get to choose 6 classes, each of which with 4 characters, 2 human and 2 alien races depending on the class. You can also choose the difficulty, and after that you can fight Geth, Cerberus or Reaper forces. And also how well you do in the multiplayer can apparently affect the ending of Mass Effect 3, but it's not really necessary. But anyway, the multiplayer works as a horde mode because you have to work as a team. If you walk off by yourself, you will die, and you will keep on dying. Unless you're a Krogan. Also, it's not just the basic horde mode. At times you'll get small missions where you have to either get some information, take out enemy targets, or basically stop communications. And you have to do these in order to continue in the horde mode. But to be honest, the multiplayer isn't really needed in Mass Effect. And I think without it, there would have been a lot more free space that they could have put into the single player, making it more, well, making it last longer. Now this is why I find a story the most important part of a video game. See, it could have great graphics and great gameplay, but if the story is shit, you don't really have an incentive to continue the game. And Mass Effect 3 has nailed the story. You are Commander Shepard. You have spent the last 2 games warning people that the Reaper forces are coming and they're going to wipe us all out. And only a handful of people have believed you. Now in Mass Effect 3, the Reapers are here, and it's all-out war. And on top of that, Cerberus, the people who you were working for in the last game, want you dead. So you spend the game uniting the galaxy to take back Earth and destroy the Reapers. However, not all the races are willing to work together, and you'll spend the game trying to unite them and resolving their problems, like curing the genophage, or ending the conflict between the Quarian and the Geth. The game has the feel of total war. And then you come to the characters. These are some of the best written characters in video game history. Some of them are even better written than Commander Shepard. And the voice acting is spectacular. But of course my favourite characters are still Garrus and Tali. Especially when these two are together, because they have some of the best banter in the entire game. Also, the characters are so well written that they don't just feel like squad members who are following you around into the mission. They feel and sound and act like your friends. And you really feel and care about them. And you can tell that they are well written because you can answer this question. Describe the character without mentioning their race, action or appearance. And they're so well written that it affects you when the emotional scenes happen, giving you more of an impact. Which is another thing this game nails, is the emotion. You are going to make some tough choices in this game, some of the hardest in video game history. You'll question yourself whether or not you were right. After doing one situation, I went on YouTube to see what the other situation would have been, what could have happened if I didn't do it. And it's heartbreaking, especially since one of your squad mates on the other choice, which I didn't do, will commit suicide in slow motion. And it just hurts you. But at the other end you have the humour and the romance, which again is so well done. Well, my romance was anyway, because I romanced an alien chick in an environment suit. Go figure. And it's not like the romances in the last two games where it just happens close to the end. The whole romance is built up from the last two games and it just continues throughout the entire third act. And also, you can actually fuck up the romance. You can make bad decisions and causing them to separate with you. And again, this game has some pretty damn funny moments. For example, Drunk Tali. And then you come to the final battle to take back Earth, and it's awesome. A gigantic fleet comes to attack the Reapers, and then you have to go on foot, and it's just pure awesome. And then the ending happens. And this just needs its own video for me to describe it, but for lack of a better description, the ending is crap. The ending is so bad that the problem is it comes close to spoiling the whole franchise. To the point where you're not sure if you want to do another playthrough, because no matter what you do, that ending is there. And the fact is, Mass Effect 3 won't be remembered for its awesome story, emotional scenes and lovable characters. No, it'll be remembered for the ending. And it really shouldn't. Because this game is just so brilliantly written. And it's sort of, I don't like how I'm seeing on sites like IGN and Metacritic that people are marking this game to just a 3 out of 10 because of the ending. Can you not look at how awesome the game was until the last 10 minutes? So that's Mass Effect 3, and it's a pretty damn awesome game, and you should pick it up. But keep in mind of that ending. Oh, and you should also pick up the other two games, because that's the way you'll get the best experience. Well, my final verdict, yes, I'm doing a scoring system, is a 9 out of 10. Well, that's my serious review. I wonder if I should do more of these. Tell me what you thought of the game. Comment below, and, oh, this is the first time I'm going to say this, but subscribe to me if you want to see more videos, and more of my videos being just me acting stupid. So, I'm Alexthehunted, and let's go kick some Reaper ass.
Mars, from the council to the seediest bars, from the reaches of space to the pillars of a sorry grace. There are battle-worn Batarians lacking in humility. Turians are bragging about their reach and flexibility. The clutter of the city spreads to the lowliest stars. But no matter what scars you bear, whatever uniform you wear, you can fight like a Krogan, run like a leopard, but you'll never be better than Commander Shepard.